It's last year's beaten grand finalist versus the host of these 2025 Waratah League and GTK Waratah Wheelchair League powered by Wilson finals as we kick off proceedings. Moss Vale Magic versus Central Coast Crusaders, Central Coast Crusaders in Youth League Women 2. Everybody. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. My name is Lockie France. Is someone who knows this place like the back of his hand. Chris Olbach, lovely to have your company. Lovely to have your company. Central Coast Crusaders, up against the Moss Vale Magic, up against the Moss Vale Magic, who finished third. Should be a pretty good game here because in the one game where both teams were close to 1 point game. It was a 1 point game going down. Moss Vale Magic going down on June 21st. The Crusaders.
Yeah, thanks Lockie. Great to be here. Great to be alongside you for this fixture this morning. Central Coast Crusaders first time in the Youth League Division 2 competition. They've made their mark this season. Keen to impress in the semi-finals this morning.
Will, yes, the Central Coast will, yes, 18-3, finishing second place behind the all-conquering Hillside that went 20-1, looking to go back-to-back in this competition, of course. Central Coast, 84-38, 84-38, and 79-45, two of the games, so it doesn't mention that other game. Finished 1 point the difference. We'll take a look at the starting lineup. For the Central Coast Crusaders. In jersey 6, All-Star 5 centre Ella Morgan. Jersey 7, jersey 7. Youth League Women's 2 MVP Zali. In jersey 8, Maya Smythe. Jersey 12, Alyssa Hairmaker. Jersey 24, jersey 24. 9 NBL 1 this season. Sienna Bird. For the Moss Vale Magic. In jersey 3, the defensive player of the year, Sienna Rossi. Player of the year, Sienna Rossi. 5, Jessica Palmer-Quigg. Jersey 6, Jersey 6, South Coast CHS representative last year, Kiara Bradley. Jersey 10, 2024 Youth League Women's 2 All-Star Eliza Ruff. Jersey 12, in jersey 12, All-Star last year, Ellie Stokes. Plenty of quality in both of these starting lineups and down the rosters. The head coaches for the Moss Vale Magic, Craig Butler, Central Coast Crusaders, Wade Smith, the coach of the year in this division.
Yeah, Wade's done an outstanding job with Crusader women, that's for sure. Spent a long time, the last few years in the junior program, was part of our under 14 girls who went to the national championships last year. So a lot of experience that he's brought to this group of girls. This group of girls, a lot of the Crusader girls coming out or still coming out under 18 program here for the Central Coast Rebels. Wade's got a lot of connection with these girls.
Certainly does, and of course your officials, the umpires today, Davina Kwong and Ashton Tolt. The crew chief is Maddie Sue Prain. Former Youth League player herself for Hills as well. Devoting her time to refereeing now, crew chief in a semi-final fixture.
Yeah, it's a great effort from Maddie to come through the ranks of the player and obviously turning her focus to refereeing. So great to see that she's still entrenched in the basketball landscape and doing a great job.
Of course, this is one of just seven or eight divisions playing this weekend across Guzman and Gomez Stadium here, across at Niagara Park, Central Coast Waves, where the youth and the wheelchair divisions will be taking place. Until tip-off here, teams getting their final instructions. Other semi-final in this competition tips off at 11:30. Tips off at 11:30 between out on court Hills Hornets and the Hornsby Karingai Spiders. The Thompson's Corner Tussle and the Hornsby Karingai Spiders. The Thompson's Corner Tussle, as it's come to be known. Fair play to the Moss Vale fans getting up here. Fair play to the Moss Vale fans getting up here. Some of their Waratah Saturday morning. Here, got some of their Waratah men.
The Moss Vale fans will be keen to keep the Crusader. The Moss Vale fans will be keen to keep the Crusader early, and the Moss Vale girls are looking to get off to a good start. Speaking to the Moss Vale Crusaders head coach Wade Smith, he said that his team will be Crusaders head coach very heavily on the defensive end of the floor here, focused very heavily on the defensive end of the floor here. 3 points in their offensive games throughout this season, so be keen to see how the Crusaders start this season. So be keen to see how the Crusaders start. I think they will be a defensive end of my set time for the weekend. If they can lock in at the defensive end of my set time for the weekend.
Number 12's jumping it up, Hairmaker. Number 12's jumping it up, Hairmaker. And Stokes.
Oh, it looked like Crusaders have first use of it, but it is going to be an immediate.
Looked like Crusaders have first use of it, but it is going to be an immediate back violation. So Sienna Rossi to inbound back violation. So Sienna Rossi to inbound the ball.
Yeah, cross-court violation there from the Crusaders. A little bit of nerves. Cross-court violation there from the Crusaders. Hasn't played a lot of games nerves this year for the Crusaders. Hasn't played a lot of games this year for the Crusaders starting lineup here. Coming to the Crusaders starting lineup here.
Rossi to inbound, it's tipped, and early nerves on both sides, but it's ripped away. And early nerves on both sides, but it's ripped away. Another turnover. Jessica Palmer-Quick, but another turnover. Quickly up the floor are the Crusaders. Quickly up the floor, three ball away early, off target. Three ball away early, off target. And a bird, but Moss Vale looking to get it up court quickly. No such luck. Moss Vale looking to get it up court quickly. No such luck.
Both teams taking a little bit of time to settle here. Some both teams taking a little bit of time to settle here. Some shooting, early turnovers, some early nerves, some forced shooting.
Fire it away. Rossi looks to three ball up. That's short away. Three ball up. That's short. Occasion, and it'll go the other way. Sarah Bradley on that occasion, and it'll go the other way.
I'd like to see both teams to try and settle into this game. Just try and get the ball. Both teams to try and settle into this game. Just try and get the one pass offense so far down the floor. So too much one pass offense so far down the floor. So get some inside touches. To help both teams settle, I'd like to see move the ball, maybe get some inside touches.
Dishes it off. Bird goes into the paint. Dishes it off. Struggle for it there. Bird. Struggle for it there. Gets her own miss. Long two. Gets her own miss. Another offensive rebound coming. Another offensive rebound coming. Hairmaker, and she'll have a chance for the first points of the game at the charity stripe. The first points of the game at the charity stripe.
Yeah, the Crusaders getting up a number of shots there and a few offensive rebounds. Crusaders getting up a number of shots there and a few offensive rebounds. The Crusaders got a bit of size. Magic and tidy that up. The Crusaders got a bit of size and keeps dominating at that end of the floor. If she keeps dominating at that end of the floor.
This is the first. This is the first. And second won't go either. And second won't go either. And Crusaders do come away with it almost. No. And Crusaders do come away with it almost. No. Up and running. She's got Rossi in support. Now Palmer Quigg. Up and running. She's got Rossi in support. Bradley, and now Ellie Stokes. Bradley puts it on the floor. Ellie Stokes kicks it to the corner. Puts it on the floor. Kicks it to the corner. Do it again. Jersey 8. Maya Smythe. And Jersey 8. Maya Smythe. And gets her own miss. On the floor this time. And foul on the floor this time.
A bit better play there for the Magic. Went inside and then got some good penetration. From the Magic went inside from Ellie Stokes, and she was to kick it out. Unfortunately, the three ball from Ellie Stokes, and she was to kick it out. Unfortunately, the three ball didn't go.
Dumped into Bird, and first points of the morning. Dumped into Bird, and first points of the morning. Go the way of the Crusaders. Sienna Bird.
Very active at the offensive end, and she finally gets one to go. Been very active at the offensive end, and she finally gets one to go.
Be off to the line. 2 free throws coming. Be off to the line. 2 free throws coming. Kiara Bradley alongside Eliza Ruff, actually CHS level, also alongside Eliza Ruff, Giles. CHS level, also alongside Charlotte Giles. In Youth League Women's 1 has played plenty of NBL 1 for Illawarra. In Youth League Women's 1 has played plenty of NBL 1 for Illawarra.
First personal foul for Sienna Bird as well. First personal foul for Sienna Bird on the board. Magic on the board. Kiara Bradley. Kiara Bradley. Tie it away at 2-2. Just to try and tie it away at 2-2.
And does so. Perfect start at the line for Bradley. Does so. Perfect start at the line for Bradley.
That'll help the Magic settle down a little bit. That'll help the Magic settle down a little bit. Crusaders trying to run a little bit of dribble drive action, trying to get that penetration, get deep into the paint action, trying to get that penetration, get deep into the paint.
Sienna Rossi comes away with it. Sienna Rossi comes away with it. Take on the defense. It's a tough look. Take on the defense. It's a tough look. Now, Crusaders. And it drops for Crusaders. And it drops from Maya Smythe.
Yeah, she's been up and about, Smythe, early in this game, run the floor hard. So good to see her get rewarded in this game, run the floor hard. So good to see her get rewarded for that.
Rough puts one up, and that goes, and that's the first three-pointer of the morning. That goes, and that's the first three-pointer of the morning. Goes away of Eliza Ruff.
15 points per game. Averages 15 points per game. Last year's All-Star. Ball goes up. And Sims won't go. Stokes right there. And Sims won't go. Rebound it. She needs them. Right there. Help from the teammate. She needs them. Help from the teammate. And Santa Bird just trying to force. Violation there, but
that's tough. That's going to be the second foul on Bird, and that's tough. That's going to be the second foul on Bird, and that's going to something I'm sure Wade Smith wouldn't have been hoping for. Something I'm sure Wade Smith wouldn't have been hoping for.
More NBL 1 games than she has youth league games this season. More NBL 1 games than she has youth league games this season. As Amelia Boonstra into the game for the Central Coast Crusaders. 14 for the Central Coast Crusaders. They won't lose too much with Boonstra coming in. She's a good three-point shooter. They won't lose too much with Boonstra coming in. She's a good three-point shooter, and she can get going. It's into Stokes, and it rolls around and out. It's into Stokes. Here is Boonstra bringing the ball up, caught at pace. Here is Boonstra bringing the ball up, caught at pace. Step. Tip back. Nice little step. On two. Tip back. On two. Won't go either as Crusaders again with another chance. All those again with another chance. Count for nothing. Here comes Bradley with rebounds. Another turnover early. Here comes Bradley. Nerves just showing a little bit here. Another turnover early. Nerves just showing a little bit here. Puts it on the floor. Gets her own miss. Blocked by Stokes, but a foul. Gets her own miss. Blocked by Stokes, but a foul.
The Crusaders really dominating at the offensive. The Crusaders really dominating at the contest, and that's going to be a problem for the Magic if they don't tidy that up. And that's going to be a problem for the Magic if they don't tidy that up. I'm sure. You know, they keep getting that many possessions, but I'm sure if they keep getting that many possessions, it's only going to wear the Magic down as this game goes along.
Haymaker getting to the line, but struggling there. Haymaker getting to the line, but so far. Struggling there. So far. Finals, when the rotations get shorter, foul trouble. Finals, when the rotations get shorter, foul trouble can Jersey 9. Real hard. Anna Risteska. Jersey 9. Moss Vale Magic. Anna Risteska. Rossi really the ball up. Find Stokes inside. She has to go a little bit further out than she wants. Inside. She has to go a little bit further out than she wants. Matchup they want. Boonstra out and running. Probably not the matchup. And lays it home. Boonstra out and running. The Crusaders. And lays it home. Nice work from the Crusaders.
Boonstra there, missed the first couple, but made sure of the third one. Missed the first couple, but made sure of the third one.
Out of bounds. Blocked there, Ella Morgan. Out of bounds. Blocked there, Ella Morgan. He's got a brief stoppage here. He's got a brief on the bench. Stoppage here on the bench.
It's been quite frantic early. Both teams trying to get up and down. It's been quite frantic early. Both teams trying to get up and down. Control. Someone needs to probably take a little bit more offensive end, just getting a little bit more settled. Team at the offensive end, just getting a little bit more settled in this contest. But being a fair few turnovers early in this contest, basketball is a different breed. As you said, like semi-final basketball is a different breed, and nerves definitely play its part.
It certainly does. I think teams are happy to run, but if it's not working when you're running, you need to be happy to use the 23 out of 24 seconds as well. You need to be happy to use the 23 out of 24 seconds as well. To get a good shot as that inbound pass. If it comes to that, snaked away. Good shot as that inbound pass. Here's Boonstra. Snaked away. Bring the ball up again. Now here's Boonstra. Bring the ball up again. As Rossi with a hand right in there, can't knock it away. Rossi with a hand right in there, can't knock it away. Can't find Hairmaker with the pass. Can't find Hairmaker with the pass. And it's over the top of Eliza Ruff. Over the top of Eliza Ruff. We're going to have the first timeout of the morning. We're going to have the first timeout of the morning. Just about halfway through this opening quarter. And of course, Basketball New South Wales through this opening quarter. And of course, Basketball New South Wales would like to extend a big thank you to our official partners: Wilson, New South Wales Office of Sport, iAthletic, Soul Sports, GTK, PCYC, and the New South Wales Government. Well, without all of whom, none of this would be going ahead today. Chris, 6-5, low scoring early, and as you said, both teams really just need to get settled. They're just showing some wayward passes, some long passes that don't really need to be made. Just need to get the ball in a ball handler's hands as early as possible and get things going through the hands in the half court.
Yeah, it's a good point you make, Lockie. I think Coach Smith would have he was probably hoping that Moss Vale might have called the first time out, but I think he'd seen enough. He needs to get his troops together and make sure that they're a little bit more switched on and under control at the offensive end. Like, both teams have had quite a few turnovers early in this game, and I think the Magic coach, Craig Butler, will be saying the same thing. We need to look after the ball, value possession a little bit more, get higher percentage shots, and he'll also be addressing the fact that his team needs to box out and keep the Crusaders off the glass.
Definitely, yes. I think if we had offensive rebound and second chance point stats, one would be very high and the other would be very low at this stage. Back to the action. There's Boonstra. Oh, good find. And then the dish. And Hairmaker puts it home.
That's great play from the Crusaders. They've definitely made an adjustment out of that timeout. They've gone to like a river offense where they get the ball reversed and have that ghost screen to the corner and good cut over the top and then some good inside action and a good finish from Hairmaker.
Now Risteska, long two, back iron. Hairmaker the rebound. She'll bring it up court. And then not quite laid home, but the offensive rebound. Now Zali Sims. Morgan grabs the O-board, a third opportunity for the Crusaders here. Boonstra. Well, they're going to dare her to shoot. She'll bank it home.
Yeah, the Crusaders have come out of that timeout, really switched on. They've upped the defensive pressure as well. Forcing another turnover.
Yeah, those long passes again, really hurting Moss Vale here. And it's now out to 11-5, and Crusaders with a chance to extend the lead once again. Boonstra drops it off for Morgan. Sims tries to get it inside, and Risteska gets a hand on it, but there'll be a foul in there. The push called on Risteska before she can get hands on the ball.
I think the Crusaders are trying to run a little bit of dribble drive action there, but if they're going to do that, they've got to try and get deeper into the paint, and their five-man's got to work opposite the ball. That time there, Sims is trying to attack down that seam, and the post is on the same side. Didn't really work, but the Magic turned it over here.
Risteska, and I got that. Fortunately, I got through all the cables as the ball ended up under our commentary desk, but back to it as, yes, Risteska with a great steal, but then a pass straight to no one. And Crusaders once again as it comes out to Zali Sims, and she flies it inside, but half volleys. Morgan, and here comes Rossi. And she'll be off to the line. Sienna Rossi didn't play in one of the games between these two teams this year, but had 17 points and 18 points in the two games she did play against the Crusaders. And she played Youth League 2, but she also played Waratah Women a couple of years ago for Moss Vale, so plenty of experience.
Yeah, that was a nice little take on the wing, like nice little hesitation dribble, and then just that explosive step to the basket, got the Crusader defender on the back and forced the foul.
Rossi averages just over 9 points per game and connects on in excess of 3 free throws per game, so gets to the line probably more often than most players on this team as Hairmaker. Now Knight kicks it out. Folatari puts it on the floor. Now Boonstra into the paint. Folatari, Imogen Folatari, that is actually the captain of this team despite starting and coming off the bench.
Yeah, they've got some pretty good depth here, the Crusaders. They do bring some talent and some experience off the bench, so Magic, I feel, need a score here.
As Liza Ruff can't get it to drop, and that's Grace Burke in 11, who was All-Star guard last year for Moss Vale, that team that reached the grand final.
Can't help but think, Lockie, the team that actually looks after the ball in this contest is going to get away with the win. There's so many turnovers from both teams. Just need to get some control. That's good play.
Stokes gets her own miss, puts it back up. She's off the line for two. Probably a little frustrated that she didn't get that first one to go, but she'll have a chance to get the points anyway.
Yeah, should be disappointed with that first one. Just a nice inside look, nice move to the baseline. Couldn't convert, but hopefully she can convert from the free throw line. She does start with the first.
Plenty of these players with accolades in either junior basketball or schools basketball. Stokes played for combined Catholic colleges last year. So that's not an easy team to get into as Zali Knight crosses Sienna Rossi. Another pull up and knocked down. Volatarik.
And nice shot there from Imogen Volatarik.
Now Burke. Ruff puts it on the floor, and now Stokes doesn't want to be out there as that's picked off immediately. And jersey number 8, Maya Smythe. Well, he's at home. Again, they're caught up court a bit here. Moss Vale as Stokes tries to put it on the floor.
That's going to be an 8-second violation.
Indeed it will, and it's only token pressure up court the Crusaders are bringing, but it's still providing Moss Vale with plenty of problems.
Yeah, no, it was good pressure from the Crusaders. Not really a trapping type defense, just good man-to-man principles there, like kept them in front, up in the passing lanes and created that turnover.
There's jersey 17, Sophie Corliss into the game. She loses the handle as it's knocked away, and there's going to be a foul there called on jersey 15, Isabel Moran. Of course, no Matilda Spearin from Moss Vale today, and she was the 2024 Defensive Player of the Year in this league. Imagine a defense with Rossi and Spearin. Definitely a big out. A player who's played 17 games this year. Doesn't score the ball a lot, but definitely a defensive presence. As what Rossi might check out. She's just having a word to Craig Butler there.
Yeah, I'd love to see Rossi just take a little bit more control of this team, like get her players organised a little bit more. You know, you could see that last possession that they had down the floor. They had their bigs out on the perimeter, whereas the possession before, they went inside to Stokes, and she was quite effective. So love to see Rossi get a team organised a little bit more here.
There's now Burke with it. Moran fires it across. Kiara Bradley, and then, blocked. Right.
Zoe Smith with the block there.
Zoe Smith into the game as she and Lily Bentley fight for the ball on the floor, the baseline ball. Palmer Quigg back into the game, and Rossi finally earns a spell, just probably more of an extended quarter-time break. Sienna Rossi is now Moran. Palmer Quigg. Get that into the paint. That's stolen away once again. Saunders, and now she gets it back. It's tipped away, but stays with the Crusaders. Saunders as will be called a tie-up.
It's good hustle there from Kiara Bradley, getting on the floor. Jump ball possession, though, goes the way of the Crusaders.
In, and then Corliss cutting. Bit of contact, all fair. And shot clock violation. Not sure anyone was really aware there.
Yeah, I'm not sure that anyone was, Lockie. I think not even their bench was aware of that. So Crusaders caught unaware with that one.
Minute 13 to play in the opening term. As that's another inbound pass. The Crusaders pressure just doing too much for them to handle. Moss Vale tip it away through Bradley. Crusaders will have 22 to work with. Knight goes out to Volatarik on the perimeter, and then, nice dump off. And shot won't go. Saunders, and yet another tie-up. The possession arrow is getting a workout in this opening term.
It definitely is, and hopefully the Magic can actually get the ball past halfway. They haven't been down the other end for a few possessions now. This Crusader pressure is relentless.
Yes, that's better work from Burke. Her pass just out of the reach of Kiara Bradley.
Coach Craig Butler's hands go up to his head once more. He just can't believe that his team keeps turning the ball over.
Definitely something to talk about at the quarter-time break. Zali Knight. Now Corliss. Their foul in there. Called on jersey number 6, Kiara Bradley.
And that'll be 2 free throws to the Crusaders. The Magic will be over the limit. Both teams are actually over the limit, but
Corliss back irons the first.
The Crusaders have actually been able to rest a lot of their players in this quarter as well. They got their starting 5 on the bench at the moment, so.
Misses the second. Lily Bentley bringing it up. She's going to need an option here, and that'll be a travel.
Now the pressure of the Crusaders defense really causing the Magic some concerns. Just not being able to get the ball down the other end of the floor.
As Zali Knight can't reel in the pass. It was a good option. Under with some space, cutting to the basket, but couldn't reel it in. And again, the pressure up court from the Crusaders with Burke. Tries to turn Saunders inside out. Does get it across half court. Drives in and draws a foul. And took a lot of work from Grace Burke, but she got there in the end and got a trip to the line for her troubles. And look, at this stage, 17-7. However you get those points for the Moss Vale Magic, I'll take them.
Yeah, good hustle again from the Crusaders. They're just reaching in there at the end as Burke drove hard to the basket. Probably just need to come across there and show some hands. The Magic trying to eat into this lead from the free throw line.
And Burke hits 2 of 2. Does hit the most free throws of any player on this Moss Vale team. 3.7 per game. The Crusaders can hold for the last shot of the opening term. It'll be Folatarik to pull up. Back iron. All right, there's Saunders. She can't hit. And Moss Vale will have 6 seconds if they can find an opening. As it will find its way to Grace Burke. And it's off target. So through a quarter of action, it is 17-9. The Crusaders leading the Moss Vale Magic. And you know that Basketball New South Wales has teamed up with NBA, we've teamed up with 2K in an exciting new partnership. So stay tuned for more ways to connect your love of the game on and off the court. I tell you what, I wouldn't mind some Waratah League DLC for NBA 2K. I'll just be out there balling with Chloe Dix or Sienna Bird or Jordan Rawls from the Moss Vale Magic. Imagine that on your PS5. That'd be great. So, leading the scorers for the Central Coast Crusaders, it's Amelia Boonstra with 5 points. I thought she was great off the bench. Imogen Folatarik and Maya Smythe, 4 points apiece. And then for Moss Vale, Eliza Ruff with 3. And then Grace Burke, Ellie Stokes and Kiara Bradley with 2 points apiece. Only players on 2 fouls so far, Sienna Bird and Kiara Bradley. But Chris, Moss Vale, they are going to be having a 2-minute long chat about how to deal with the Crusaders' pressure up court because they're having real troubles.
Yeah, they are, Lockie. They're having real troubles getting the ball over out of their own backcourt into the front court. Their passing and their turnovers. I feel like they're trying to make the long pass. They don't need to make the long pass. They need to reverse the ball. They need to have some hard cuts to the middle and try and just release that pressure. But I think they're going about it the wrong way. They're trying to make the long pass, or they're trying to dribble through it too much, and it's just creating all sorts of issues for them, and they need to address that. You know, on the back of that, they need to get some stops at the defensive end, because if they can do that by rebounding the ball better, they may be able to limit the Crusaders' opportunities to set up that defensive pressure. So, you know, a couple of things for Coach Butler to talk about. The Crusaders, I think they'll be pretty happy with their first quarter. They took a little while to settle down, but once they got into their groove, and as Coach Smith said before the game, he wanted to build this game around their defense, and their defensive pressure has been really good. So I'm sure he'll be quite happy with that.
Sure he will, yes. It took a little while for both teams to get settled, but Central Coast definitely looking the better of the two teams at the moment. As we come out for the second quarter, it'll score 17-9. The Central Coast Crusaders lead the way. We're going to have Ella Morgan to inbound the ball, as she's already calling for a teammate to come and get the inbound pass.
I really think if the Magic are going to get back into this game, it's going to be on the back of Rossi and Stokes. And I think that Rossi needs to do a better job of getting a team organised. Stokes needs to get down low. She needs to go at the Crusaders' bigs and put them under a little bit of pressure themselves. So look out for those two to lift here in the second quarter to bring the Magic back into this game.
Run away. Zali Sims has it tipped away. Now, here comes Palmer Quigg. Now into rough, but again tipped away. Need to be a bit stronger there. As nice little step. Maya Smythe. And it will remain Moss Vale ball as they found it hard to get it out from under the basket there through Bradley, but get it coming off Crusaders' hands last. And that's a better inbound pass, but Ruff probably doesn't need to pick up the dribble there. Stokes will dribble away through, and just probably the wrong player in the wrong place. No matter how good Ellie Stokes is, as just wall up and give Crusaders no way through, and on the floor goes Bradley. And then a foul will be called on jersey number 3 for the Moss Vale Magic, Sienna Rossi.
And I think you're just seeing that last possession from the Magic, you know, like with Ellie Stokes bringing the ball up the floor, it's not who you want to bring the ball up the floor. You need Ellie like underneath the basket. She's going to be way more effective in that space. And the Crusaders, again, they just swarmed defensively and got themselves out and running.
Right. Once again, Crusaders providing plenty of pressure, and Maya Smythe just giving Sienna Rossi no chance of getting the ball here. Eventually she does, and she'll take on Smythe and beat her, but Smythe recovers well for the block. Will remain Moss Vale possession with 7 on the shot clock, but it's taking so much time to actually get up court. And eventually, once they got the ball in Rossi's hand, she was able to at least make something happen, as that slips straight through the hands of Eliza Ruff. It's unfortunate once again.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. I mean, they did well that time to get the ball down the floor. As you said, it took them some time, but a nice drive from Rossi, but unfortunately, no points.
Stokes telegraphed that one. It didn't even need to. It was straight to her. There's Rossi. Good defense once again, just forcing her into a turnover, and Smythe. And then Morgan tries to get the rebound, but here come Moss Vale. They might actually get an opportunity up court. Ruff can't get it, and there's going to be a foul in there. Up on Rossi. 2 quick fouls on Sienna Rossi. It's not what the Moss Vale Magic need at all, and she's now picked up 3.
Yeah, that's her 3rd foul, and that's disappointing that she's going to have to sit.
Number 11, Grace Burke, back into the contest. As Crusaders up court quickly once again. Molly Sims, and now, oh, nice step through. Sienna Bird back into the game with those 2 fouls. And we managed to extend the lead without her on court, but I know they very much like having her out there. As again, trouble with the inbound. Bird, well, both teams having trouble.
Yeah.
Now Hairmaker. Now Sims off target. And it'll go the other way, Moss Vale ball.
Now the defensive pressure, but I can't help it to think they've just got way too many players in the backcourt, Moss Vale. You've got 4 players in the backcourt, allows the Crusaders defense really to extend up and get the floor. I think they need to create some space and get some players down the floor and try and open up exactly what they did there.
There's Morgan. Nice to use the glass. Hairmaker the O-board. Nice work by Stokes. And then out and running is Grace Burke. I think it'll beat everyone up court, and it will stay with the Magic. We have a sub. Jersey 11, Zoe Smith into the game for Alyssa Hairmaker. But actually we're going to have a timeout called by the Moss Vale Magic. It is still just a 10-point game, 21-11, 7 minutes, 21 seconds left to play in the second quarter. And of course, Sol Sports, the official supplier of officiating and Basketball New South Wales staff apparel. Check out their range at solsports.au. Also the supplier to Bankstown NBL1. I've got my own Bankstown personalised jersey. I'm very happy about that. Sol Sports, they make great kit. As you mentioned, Chris, 4 players in the backcourt for Moss Vale. It's like they're trying to make options, but they're almost a victim of their own crowding of the area.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really allowing the Crusader defense just to really compact that space, and like they're finding it really difficult to get it in. I think they need to get some players out and run, try and stretch that Crusaders defense out, and then be able to create some space to have some options down the floor. Right now, it's just too many people in the backcourt. And as you said, Lockie, like, it's only a 10-point game. For the amount of turnovers the Magic have had and the fact that they haven't had really that many scoring opportunities, to only be 10 points down, they're still very much in this game. They just need to fix up a few things.
So, down from Burke to Stokes. She puts it up, just a little short off the glass. And now Crusaders, they got 2-on-1 here, as doesn't quite fall. Now Bird puts it on the floor. The glass won't go. Rebound Stokes. As they do find players up court, but the last pass not quite there. Now Smythe.
Smythe's been great for the Crusaders. She's got her hands on a lot of balls. She's been creative at the offensive end as well.
Bradley brings it down, gives it to Stokes, and then Burke is right there unguarded, and she'll be off to the line for another free throw as Ella Morgan commits the foul.
You can see once the Magic do get the ball into their front court, they are creating some opportunities. So, the Crusaders, whilst their defensive pressure has been great in that backcourt, they also need to work on some aspects of their defensive transition, because they've been caught out a couple of times now.
I think Moss Vale, sometimes they just need to pick the right player to drop the ball off to. So Bradley getting the rebound doesn't need to be throwing that to Stokes. She needs to get out and go.
Yeah, absolutely. It's almost like, I've got to get rid of her. I've got to throw it to someone.
As Stokes forces Bird to take a shot from a little bit further out. And this is much better from the Magic. As Burke lays it home. And
that's the transition defense we're talking about with the Crusaders. Like, if the Magic can rebound the ball and get out and run, the Crusaders haven't done a great job of that so far. So that's an area that Coach Smith will be looking to fix up.
As Stokes knocks that away. As it goes back out to the perimeter. 3-ball up. Bird well over the top. Zoe Smith can't corral the rebound. You're going to see Boonstra back into the game in jersey 14. Placing Bird, as we're going to see Anna Risteska and Palmer Quigg back in. Risteska in 9, Palmer Quigg in 5. Anna Risteska, 3 years ago, was playing under 14 Southern Junior League. So, still very young.
And just there, Lockie, out of that timeout, you can see the Magic they look like they've made a slight adjustment there. They only had 3 players in the backcourt. They've spread the floor a little bit more, able to get the ball over a lot more conventionally and a lot easier that time around.
That's unfortunate. Liza Ruff just taking a step before putting the ball on the floor. And it looks like something was starting to develop there for the Magic. But it's now back to a 6-point margin. As Stessia almost reels that in. Boonstra, she was great in her first stint coming off the bench in the first quarter. It's now Zali Sims, Ella Morgan, and now back to Boonstra on the opposite side. Little step through, lays it home, takes a spill. Folatarik, good defense.
Need to get it in.
They certainly do. And Boonstra came back for it, and Folatarik was running up the sideline and trying to cut back in court. And Boonstra saw her as an option, but she wasn't even back in court. So
yeah, that's a careless turnover, that one from the Crusaders.
As Ruff puts it on the floor. 3-ball up. Emily Paulich nearly into the game as Risteska can't get it to go off the offensive glass and to tip it back in. Emily Paulich, not just a player, finalist for Young Coach of the Year in the State Community Sports Awards.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Great to see some of these girls putting contribution back into their local community.
As Ruff can't get it to go. And a foul in there on the Crusaders. It's called on jersey 14.
Anna Risteska's brought a lot of energy to the Magic when she's come in here. She's done a great job. Just a lot of hustle and really lifted that energy that the Magic needed.
Paulich to inbound. And now Ruff. Risteska. McQuigg. And now Ruff into the paint. A little spin move, but a travel in the process. And it took a couple of steps, then decided the spin was the best option.
Yeah, the correct call there.
Zali Knight and Boonstra. And into Smythe, but another turnover. That's Ruff somehow stays with it, and again called for the travel, and she's frustrated with herself. You don't need to be a lip reader on that occasion.
Yeah, she knew that she shuffled her feet there.
A couple of times in succession as well, and she knew she had the opportunity. So Saunders to inbound, and Knight. Now Boonstra with it here on the right wing, guarded by Risteska. Now Bird takes off. Oh, nice little pass. Boonstra for three. Can't bank it home. Risteska to bring it up court. McQuigg makes the right option. And relocate. Now three from Risteska, won't go. Offensive board won't go. We got Freya Bykirk here to watch the game. Although she's got her noise cancelling headphones on, so she can see me, but she can't hear a word I'm saying. Of course, playing in the next game on this court, Manly versus Penrith Youth League Women's Division 1. It's now Boonstra. As it almost knocked away, sticks with it. Now, Saunders takes off to the basket, lays it home.
Yeah, nice take from Jolie Saunders there, just getting deep into the paint. Gets it back out to that 10-point buffer for the Crusaders.
McQuigg looks to direct traffic. Off to Bradley, and now in the corner. Risteska, and now jersey 14, Bentley. Fire around Paulich. Eventually the three ball almost banks home with the shot clock expiring in the background, and then Risteska just drives straight through. And that was probably a foul that didn't need to be given up.
Yeah, I think a frustration foul there. Thought there might have been a shot clock violation, but the ball definitely hit the ring. So the right call from the officials, and the Magic took full advantage.
Risteska, well, she only makes 0.7 of a free throw per game, so she's already outdone her average for the season. So there we go, reliable at the line.
Interesting substitution here, bringing Rossi back in. Only 2:54 remaining in the second quarter. She has 3 fouls, so you'd hate for her to pick up a 4th before halftime.
You also don't want this lead to get out to 16 or 17 with her sitting on the bench. 3 ball goes up, off target. Stokes grabs the rebound. No! Saunders. And then
good finish from Zali Knight.
Zali Knight. Zali, it's the name of choice on the Central Coast. Zali Knight, Zali Sims, Zali Heffernan, Zala Olbach.
Zali Olbach, absolutely. There's plenty of them.
Right. 2:21 to play, second quarter here at Guzman y Gomez Stadium as A little stoppage here before Stokes can inbound the ball. Fresh 14 to work with. Stokes. Bradley. Can't get it to go. The rebound. Bentley, and then Rossi gets the O board. Living dangerously, fighting for it there. Stokes.
Very dangerously.
And this time Rossi can't put it home. And, well, that's Defensive Player of the Year for you. Tapping it away. I mean, she has to trust herself in this situation. She's been entrusted by the coach to go out there and play with 3 fouls. No point having her out there if she's not going to play the defense that we know she can play.
Yeah. Hopefully she can stay out of that foul trouble, because I think she's a key member of this group. And if they are to get the win, I think she's going to play a key part in the second half. They've done really well to hang in there while she's been on the bench.
The second one won't go. Rebound, Bentley.
The Magic have done a lot better in this quarter with their rebounding. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to convert. In the first quarter, it was all the Crusaders at the offensive end. Now it's all the Magic on the offensive glass.
Boonstra gets her own miss. There'll be another tie-up.
I think Coach Wade Smith will be pretty disappointed with the Crusaders in this quarter. They've had a real chance to try and extend this out and blow their lead. All bad hands from the commentators.
I'll grab that. Teamwork. Get there in the end. So 1:44 to play. We're going to have just a sub, and it'll be Bentley exiting and Grace Burke back into the game in jersey 11 for the Moss Vale Magic. Rossi to inbound. Steska gets it back, and again, player just trying to tiptoe up the sideline, but once again, that's the defense almost forcing them into that pass back to the inbounder. But
both teams loving that little give and go handoff down the sideline, but hasn't been effective for either team so far.
Zali Knight now. Ooh, almost carried it against her hip, but got it away just in time. And now Sims. Well by Rusteska. Yeah. And Hairmaker puts it on the floor. The battle of the 12s won by Ellie Stokes on this occasion. Steska will drive in. Bradley. Stokes. Now Rossi. Can't shoot over, but try to go through. And then Ellie Stokes. Another trip to the line for Stokes.
I'd love to see Ellie Stokes playing herself close to the basket like that more often. I think she could be really effective in this game. Too many times she's just sitting out on the perimeter at the moment. I'd love to see her just get down low, be a target inside, clean up the offensive glass for the Magic, and I think that could be a real thorn in the Crusaders' side.
Yeah, that's her 3rd or 4th trip to the charity stripe, so she's scoring the ball. She might get 1 or 2 Crusaders players in a bit of foul trouble, and who knows what might transpire. So Zali Knight with possession. Just take it all the way in. She'll kick it out. And on the floor is Jolie Saunders as Kiara Bradley almost makes friends with the wall. Trying to tip it away, tip it back in.
Saunders again able to get deep into the paint. Couldn't convert that time.
Sims. Back to Knight on the perimeter. Fairmaker puts it on the floor, and there'll be a foul in there. We'll go on Ellie Stokes. That's a battle that's been one of the highlights.
Only their 4th foul of the quarter, but it is Stokes' 2nd as well, so she needs to be careful not to pick up her 3rd here as well.
3 ball goes up. Zali Sims this time, and Stokes reels it in.
Try and get a 2-for-1 opportunity here if they don't turn it over. No.
Instead it'll be Crusaders who can go for a 2-for-1 if they want to move really quickly. I think the best option is probably to make sure you get 1 good shot here and then defend the last few seconds of the quarter. As Knight Almost having it blown up by Rossi. Does have it blown up, just pulls the ball straight out of her hands. And then a foul call, and that'll be a trip to the charity stripe.
Yeah, that was really good pressure from Grace Burke there. She done a great job on Zali Sims. I think, Zali Sims has been obviously the MVP of the league. She's been kept pretty quiet in this one so far. She hasn't lit it up from the three-point line. She's the leading three-point shooter in the competition. So the Magic have done a really good job on her. If they can make 2 here and close this to within 5, I think they've done a really good job to stay in this contest.
That's huge. Because, I mean, when it was 17-7, they could barely get the ball across half court. Craig Butler, just a little bit of advice to his Chargers as Rossi will get the rebound on the missed free throw, and it will stay Moss Vale ball for the final 22 seconds. There's Wade Snell. I think he was about to call a timeout. Just waves it off with the team on defense. Rossi, no. Instead, it's going to be a Moss Vale timeout. Well, you can't take them with you, so you may as well draw something up for your final possession of the second quarter. But we talked about Soul Sport before. Well, iAthletic are the official partner for Basketball New South Wales' high-performance programs and merchandising. And head to iathletic.com.au, and they do great work as well. They also supplied WNBL teams. They've supplied the national teams in the past. I've got more iAthletic jerseys than I care to admit, to be honest.
Yeah, they make up plenty of my wardrobe as well, having been involved with the Sydney Kings and stuff. So, plenty of iAthletic gear floating around.
Yes. The season I bought 7 WNBL jerseys. That was a hit to the old hip pocket, but it was worth it.
Interesting, Coach Butler here has dragged Sienna Rossi out for those last 22 seconds, so he's realised that, she is on 3 fouls, and he's going to preserve her for the second half. So a smart play from him, and hopefully they've drawn up a nice little play here that might get him a score just to close this gap even more as we head into halftime. Also, the Crusaders have got 5 team fouls, so any foul here will send the Magic to the line.
Oh, fired. Stokes put on the floor. She'll want to relocate into the paint, you'd think, as Burke, though she'll have a trip to the charity stripe for 2 free throws. And once again, the Moss Vale Magic just doing it at the line. Of their 21 points, they've got 14 free throws.
Yeah, I think the Crusaders will be disappointed with that too. The fact that they allowed middle penetration there. I know that their philosophy would be to force the ball to the sideline and the baseline, so to give up that middle drive would be disappointing. But they will come up with the last play of the half, or will they?
They won't. It'll be Burke with it. 9 seconds to play. It's into Stokes. She gives it up. 3 ball coming, and it drops. Oh, that's huge. Huge.
That is a huge play for the Magic.
Kiara Bradley knocks down the 3. Oh, it's going to be 27-24 at half time.
The Crusaders actually look a little bit shell-shocked right now. I think they are, they will realise that they let a real opportunity slip there in that quarter. They had Magic players on foul trouble. They were creating all sorts of turnovers and pressure in the backcourt. But credit to the Magic. They've found a way. They've looked after the ball better, done a great job on the offensive glass, and they've found themselves right in this contest.
I haven't had the scoreboard update yet, but I think the referees are just making their final check that just getting confirmation from the referees and the score bench, but it looks like the score will be 27-24. Crusaders leading Moss Vale at half time. And Chris, have you ever heard of a team making 4 field goals in a quarter and only trailing by 3?
Yeah, it's a strange one, but credit, as I said, credit to the Magic. They've found a way, and the Crusaders, they'll be really disappointed that they've let that slip. But the Magic, they had still plenty of chances to make some field goals in that quarter. They really dominated the offensive glass. Unfortunately, they couldn't convert, but to their credit, they were able to find their way to the free throw line and they were able to get their points from there. So, you know, as they say, Lockie, sometimes you don't have to say how, it's just how many, and they're right in this contest.
They certainly are. So 27-24 at halftime. There's 8 minutes or so left in the halftime interval. So we're going to catch a quick break and be back soon with all the second half action.
All right, so welcome back for the second half of this Waratah Youth 2 Women semi-final. The Central Coast Crusaders, the home team, leading last year's beaten grand finalists Moss Vale 27-24. Your scoring leaders for the Central Coast Crusaders, Amelia Boonstra with 7, then Imogen Folatarik, Sienna Bird and Maya Smythe with 4 apiece. For Moss Vale, it is Grace Burke leading the way with 6 points, Eliza Rupp and Kiara Bradley with 5 apiece. After Bradley knocked down that 3 to end the quarter. And a few players on foul trouble by Moss Vale. Well, not foul trouble. They got Bradley as well as Ellie Stokes and Anna Risteska with 2 fouls, and then Sienna Rossi with 3. Was for the Crusaders, Amelia Boonstra, Sienna Bird, Alyssa Hairmaker, Zali Knight and Ella Morgan all with 2 apiece. But I think it's that 3 next to Sienna Rossi's name, and I'm not talking about the jersey number, Chris.
No, it was, it was tough for the Magic in that quarter when she picked up a 3rd foul, but she went to the bench and then the coach took a bit of a gamble. Craig Butler put her back in and she did really well. And then obviously put her out again towards the end of that quarter just to preserve her for the second half. But Rossi's going to play a key role in this half for the Magic. But the Crusaders, I'm sure they would have had plenty to talk about at halftime. They would have been really disappointed with that second quarter. They really let the Magic get back in the contest, and they'll be looking to execute a lot better here as we start off in the 3rd quarter.
So Zali Sims loses the handle for a bit, gets it back. Out. Hairmaker. Now Smythe. Back out to Hairmaker. That's much better from the Central Coast Crusaders.
Yeah, good ball movement from the Crusaders. Hairmaker, she's capable of knocking down that shot and did so. That'll be a good starting point for the Crusaders. Coach Smith will be happy about that.
Yeah, Jessica Palmer-Quigg. Grace Burke, Bradley. Now Risteska wants to get it into Stokes in the paint. There's no option there, and half a hand on it, and then stolen away. Oh, nice little back and forth between Hairmaker and Ella Morgan. It finishes with Hairmaker laying it home for 2. So immediately the first 4 points of the quarter go to the Crusaders. Stokes. Burke puts it on the floor. Gets in. Better defense this time from the Crusaders. On 2 occasions the ball somehow stays in court. Burke puts it up, and this time she's off to the line.
Yeah, interesting that Sienna Rossi started on the bench in this 3rd quarter. I thought that they might have started her here just to continue on with that momentum, but Coach Butler went with the same group that finished out the second quarter, so be interesting to see how long she stays on the bench here before she's injected into the 3rd quarter.
Misses the second, 1 of 2 at the line. Crusaders moving with plenty of pace here, but Ellie Stokes wise to it. Knocks away the pass from Zali Sims, intended for Hairmaker. So Sims to inbound. Goes out to Smythe. Now Sims to take on Burke. It's knocked away, but falls to Crusaders once again. Sims, she beat Burke for pace and lays it home. That was a matchup she really wanted.
Yeah, nice finish from Zali Sims there. Finished on the right hand, but got the job done.
Stokes. Now Palmer-Quigg. Burke. And now Bradley. Stokes. Burke. Puts it on the floor. Again with the left hand. Not this time. And just
Magic ball.
Fresh 14 for the Magic. Someone trying to get open will be Ellie Stokes. Puts it on the floor and goes to the rack and goes to the line.
I'm not sure the Crusaders need to close out so aggressively on that. Like if Stokes is going to sit out there, I'd much prefer her to be shooting the ball out there than getting herself to the basket. As we know, the Magic have been able to keep in touch from the free throw line, so I'm not sure it's a wise idea for the Crusaders to keep fouling and sending them there.
All right, 1 of 2 again, so leaving a couple of points at the line, but Still definitely a means of getting points for the Magic as there's an O-board and Smythe leaves it behind. Burke reels it in. It's Risteska. Manages to handle. Now Burke with it again. Set up something in the half court here. Stokes trying to post up, but is forced out to Bruno. Instead, it'll be Burke in close quarters. Not this time, as only just needed to take half a second there, Ella Morgan, to wait for an option to develop or put it on the floor herself.
Yeah, just need to get the ball under your chin and just pivot and get the ball to the outlet.
As McQuigg into Stokes. No, tipped away. As Smythe, little bump, leaves it short. Rebound Risteska. That's better.
The Crusaders need to get back in transition.
2-on-1, and Hairmaker just makes herself an impediment on the pass. Tempted around the corner to Stokes.
We mentioned in the first half that an area that the Crusaders could be exposed in is their transition, and you know, I think Moss Vale needs to keep looking at doing that. If they get some stops, they've got to look to run early. I think that's where Rossi plays a key part for the Magic if she can get back out on the floor.
3 ball goes up, and 3 ball goes down from Zali Sims. 10-point margin.
We've been waiting for one of those for Zali Sims. We knew that the drought wasn't going to be for too long.
Does knock down over 3 threes a game to Sims. On her way to winning MVP. First season out of under 18s, which I imagine is the case for most of these Youth League 2 players, especially from Central Coast, as they sort of act as a development pathway for the Youth 1 women's team.
Yeah, absolutely. A number of these girls are actually still playing under 18, so yeah, but a good opportunity for those that have exited the junior program to have like another opportunity to keep playing. Nice little assist pass there.
Sims, bit of pressure on Burke. Burke gets it over the half court, and it's knocked away as a little bit of miscommunication in the backcourt. Sims into Hairmaker. Turns, won't go.
And need to look after the ball, the Magic. They've gone back to that one pass and throw it away mentality.
Stokes needs to find someone and does so now. Oh, not quite from Palmer Quigg. These long passes at both ends.
Both teams turning it over again to start out the third quarter.
Not the recipe they're looking for as Hairmaker again tries to poke it away from Stokes, and she's had some reasonable success there, but this time called for the foul. And that'll be her third.
Yeah, I think she's got away with a few of those, like just maybe over the back, but not on that occasion. So picks up her third foul, and she now needs to take a seat. Bentley and Rossi check back in for the Magic. Some good substitutions there, I think, from Coach Butler.
Here is Rossi playing on those 3 fouls. Now Stokes. 3 ball up again, short. This time from Eliza Ruff. She sat for a bit as well, did Eliza Ruff, but one of the integral players to this lineup as Ella Morgan's shot won't go, and Stokes, it's good rebounding position. Palmer Quigg bringing it up, gets almost into the paint, and then what's an option? Rossi fires it across to the opposite wing. 3 ball up, short. Lily Bentley. Now, all the way in goes Folatarik, but unfortunately, Zoe Smith was cutting to the basket. And
yeah, a little bit too casual too on the passes. Both teams here like a little bit too casual with their passing. Just need to make sure of it and look after the ball.
Rossi, Stokes, Ruff, little pivot, step, creates an angle for herself, shot won't go. Bentley arriving late, and there'll be a foul. Yeah, it looks like it will be on Lily Bentley. Only her first though, so nothing to worry about at this stage.
Yeah, Ellie Stokes takes a seat for the Magic.
Definitely a well-earned spell for Ellie Stokes. Crusaders. It's now Bird. Won't go, but looks, oh, he gets her own miss. And then that's nice work, Imogen Folatarik, but Sienna Bird, when she gets an opportunity to go into the basket, even when the shot doesn't go, she looks really dangerous.
Yeah, way to stay with it there. Like, missed a couple of shots, but then was able to find Folatarik, and Folatarik from close range, she doesn't miss too many of those.
Moran, on the Quig, saves the situation. Rossi leaves it short, and saved! Great work by Lily Bentley, and Sienna Rossi only too happy to oblige by putting it home.
Yeah, that's good play from Bentley, never giving up on the play.
As that one is floated home. Riley Sims. Now Moran. They're up court quickly once again, Moss Vale. And another turnover, unfortunately. Here comes Folatarik. And tie-up called, so nice work on the defensive end there from Moss Vale.
Yeah, I think when the Magic look back on this game, regardless of the result, I think they'll look back and think, you know, if we had looked after the ball better, the result could have been a lot different. Way too many turnovers.
Isabel Moran, well, if she doesn't put a foot out there, Imogen Folatarik probably has the easiest basket of her career, so it'll be a fresh 14, but at least there's not 2 points on the board. That's Sims, Folatarik, as Bird flying in, loses the ball, but it's off a Moss Vale player in 9 seconds.
Yeah, she's coming out here with some real intent in this quarter. Sienna Bird looking to really attack the basket, get on the hoop early.
And Sims, a little too much on it. Rossi, going to be careful there. Sims, Smythe, it's out to Folatarik once again for three. This time, here comes Eliza Ruff. And Ruff is smooth with it.
Tough jumper in the middle of the paint there over Zoe Smith.
Geez, they're playing with fire there on the midcourt line. As Smythe takes it into the paint, she floats it home herself.
Yeah, both teams trading buckets right now.
But that won't be enough for Moss Vale. They trail by 14, 44-30, 2.5 minutes to play in the third quarter of this semi-final. Ruff trying to spin through. Not this time. It made something out of nothing. We couldn't get the shot to go. Maya Smythe. And Folatarik following up, but Moran is going to be called for the foul. Not too happy about that.
Yeah, good follow-up from Folatarik there. Smythe again being the live wire here for the Crusaders at both ends. Takes a well-earned rest. Boonstra comes back in.
As Bradley checks in for Moss Vale, and Boonstra, I've been mightily impressed with Amelia Boonstra today. Coming off the bench. Averages 11 points per game, so no reason not to be impressed, but coming off the bench is that sixth option.
Georgina Hunt checks in for the Crusaders. Is that her first minutes for today?
If it's not, it's very close to it. As the second free throw drops from Folatarik. Sienna Rossi needs to direct a bit of traffic here, get things humming in half court for Moss Vale. Gives it up. There's Bentley. Anything to happen there is Boonstra. There we go, back into the game and immediately make an impact. I think that's just about every stint she's had on court. She's made an impact in the first couple of possessions.
Yeah, I think this is going to be key 2 minutes remaining here for the Magic. If they can't eat into this Crusaders lead, it may be a bridge too far in the fourth quarter.
There's another turnover. It's got caught in a bad situation. That ball really had to go way back out. It's Georgina Hunt. She'll be off to the line, so she's having an impact early as well.
Nice cut there from Georgina. Strong to the basket, good feed.
Going to see Sophie Corliss back into the game as well. Also quite a talented cricketer, I found out doing my research, Sophie Corliss. Well, you got to do something in summer when
you do.
Basketball season.
Absolutely.
There's Hunt, almost rattles home the second, but not quite. And it's
Crusaders assistant coach Maxine Rubinski is also a keen cricketer.
There we go. It's rough. Spinning again, likes that move. And Ellie Stokes right there, but can't finish. They've just broken this game open, have the Crusaders. It was a 3-point game at half-time. It's now a 19-point lead, and they've just been a bit more disciplined in not letting Moss Vale rack up so many points at the free throw line, and relied on that perhaps inconsistent shooting from the field.
And I think also, Lockie, I think the big thing here is the fact that they would have had a lot less turnovers in this quarter than the Magic as well. And we spoke about that early in the game. The team that
that was clean from Emily Paulich.
Yeah, the team that actually looked after the ball better was going to come away with this game, and that's how it's panning out at the moment, but still a quarter to play.
There's Boonshaw again. Rebound. Bradley, and now Rossi. Now, nice ball movement. Half pass, half volleys Paulich, and I'll have to set up again. Try to get something going with these last 14 seconds. It might be Rossi off the glass. No, it's short. Didn't need to be tipped in, but it was. Now, Corliss fires it up court to Boonshaw, and a foul coming as Cara Bradley. No malice. She fouls Corliss. Fouls Boonshaw, sorry. Pass coming from Corliss. Flinging it up court.
Yeah, good recognition there from the Crusaders, getting the ball out early. And Boonshaw was able to get strong to the basket, unable to convert the first free throw here. Normally a pretty good free throw shooter. Makes a mocker of me though.
As it's reeled in, and Stokes has got the ball, and she's got Bradley right there, and instead takes it in, and might just play a little two-player game with Sienna Rossi there and head to the line. As she brought the ball up court, I was almost taking my headset off and screaming, Cara Bradley's right next to you, Ellie, but it worked out in the end.
Yeah, I like the fact that she eventually got inside and Rossi recognised that. There was a mismatch there with Georgina Hunt and threw it in there, and Ellie was able to get to the basket. Hopefully she can make one of two here.
She can. Crusaders can hold for the last shot of the third quarter and extend this lead beyond 15, as the shot clock should be off. Instead it's sitting there at 24. Unstarted, maybe. The
official thought the shot clock should be running, but didn't realise it was going to be the last shot of the quarter.
As well, so much for Crusaders having the last shot of the quarter. Grace Burke takes it in, steps through, and two free throws coming as the clock expires in the background. We'll see if they put a little bit of time back on the clock. Wade Smith is ropeable that his team given up not only the turnover, but then two free throws as well. And
yeah, he'd be really disappointed with that. And when you've got a 15-point lead, like, you'd rather just have the last shot of the quarter and make or miss. You still have that lead going into the fourth quarter, but to give the opposition a chance to narrow this gap to 13, he'll be really disappointed with that.
Well, smart work, Moss Vale Magic huddling, because it's not a timeout. It's just running the clock down, so I don't imagine there'll be much time left on the clock, but I think Grace Burke will just say how many players in Youth League, one or two, can fling a ball 80 feet to the basket? So I dare say Grace Burke's just saying, just don't foul.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that'll be the instruction. Just don't foul. Just try and get the offensive rebound, but if we can't get it, don't foul. Let's see if we can make one last run at the Crusaders in the fourth quarter.
.4 on the clock. And Maddie Sue Prain says, near enough's good enough. Grace Burke will be at the line for 2. And rattles around and out, does the first free throw for a player who, as I mentioned earlier, scores almost 4 free throws per game. I dare say she's eclipsed that mark. We'll get the stats at the end of the quarter. So 14-point game. And, Wade Smith's heart would have been in his mouth there as that ball was tipped, but after 3 quarters of action, it is the Central Coast Crusaders with 1 foot in the grand final with the score at 49-35. Take a look at the scoring leaders. It's Amelia Boonstra and Zali Sims with 9 points apiece for the Crusaders. Imogen Folatarik with 8. Grace Burke leading the Moss Vale Magic with 8 points, 6 free throws. Liza Ruff, 7 points. Ellie Stokes with 6 points, all at the line. I dare say Ellie would be hoping that at least a couple of those free throws had come from and one opportunities, because she's had her chances. A 14-point lead. We have seen Moss Vale make runs in this game, but at this stage, it definitely looks like Central Coast have taken control.
Yeah, they definitely took control in that quarter. They a little bit more disciplined. They got out and ran. They were able to execute, get some high percentage looks inside. In comparison to the Magic, who again, they went to that, long pass, a lot of dribble penetration, couldn't convert inside, a fair few turnovers. And they'll be looking to really come out here and try and get the jump on the Crusaders early. They do have the first possession, so an opportunity to, eat into this Crusader lead, but they'll need to make sure they really look after the ball in this quarter, and they'll need to take their chances, as you mentioned, if they're to have any chance of making back-to-back grand final appearances in the Youth League Div 2 Waratah League.
Speaking of the ball, this is a ball for all the ballers. The official Wilson game ball is now available. Search wilson.com BNSW basketballs to purchase yours today. Because Wilson, of course, are the official ball partner to Basketball New South Wales. And Moss Vale are going to have to put the Wilson through the hoop plenty in this fourth quarter. 49-35, 10 minutes to decide it here at Guzman y Gomez Stadium here at Terrigal. Lovely to have your company on this Saturday morning. As it's not an ideal start, but Santa Rossi makes the smart move of letting the ball go back across half court before reeling it in. There's screen there from Paulich, and Corliss is going to be called for the foul.
Yeah, no, smart play there from Rossi, because if she had have touched that ball, I think I might have come over and back, but the Magic.
Grace Burke barreling in once more, spin move, leaves it short. Now Amelia Boonstra taking on Paulich. Oh, watch that for a pass. And buries it. Oh, that's the play of the game, 100%. Amelia Boonstra, that is a pass for the ages.
Yeah, great deep penetration, great vision. On her left hand, finds Zali Knight, feet set. She was able to knock it down. That's just the start the Crusaders needed heading into this fourth quarter. I think Boonstra's been fantastic for the Crusaders. Coming off the bench, she's provided impact every single time she's come in. She's been able to keep that scoreboard ticking over.
This time tries to go herself. It's off target. Stokes there for the rebound. Now she's there in the paint is Stokes, and draw the foul on Georgina Hunt.
And it's interesting, Lockie, we see that play again from Rossi to Stokes on that wing. Probably would have liked to seen that a little bit more often, to be honest, to try and create a little bit more pressure for the Crusaders. But every time they go in there, they have a result.
Leaves it short on the second, and there'll be a tie up there. Possession arrow does favour the Crusaders on this occasion. As Rossi tips it out of bounds and playing with fire in that situation. And 3 fouls. It's going to be Knight to inbound. Corliss. Now Boonstra. Wraps it around to Georgina Hunt. Corliss gets it in the paint. No one there on the weak side to rebound. Boonstra arriving late, but Moss Vale recover, and here's Rossi. Burke gives it back to Rossi. It's tipped away. Boonstra. Zali Knight. Corliss! And nice work getting back by Kiara Bradley to break things up.
Foul call there on Bradley. It's her 3rd personal foul. Hairmaker checks back in for Georgina Hunt.
The battle of the 12s recommences, and it's been quite enjoyable to watch at times. Ellie Stokes and Alyssa Hairmaker going toe-to-toe. Now Boonstra. Into Hairmaker, back to Boonstra. Wide angle on the layup, won't go. Hairmaker kicks it out. Ella Morgan. Back iron, won't go. Out of bounds. Jessica Palmer-Quigg been directing traffic most of the morning into the afternoon. Moss Vale. Rossi. It's about the 3, but it's not on, and telegraph it once again, and it's Hairmaker. Kicks it out. No 3 ball there. Might be a 3 ball here for Boonstra. No. Puts it on the floor herself. Goes back one way, then the other. Steps through. Leaves it short. Hairmaker definitely bumped in there. Foul will be called on Eliza Ruff.
Don't mind that play from the Crusaders. They turned down a number of 3-point looks there, but just trying to pass it up for a better shot opportunity with a 17-point lead. Got plenty of time on the clock.
Oh, and the block is called on Stokes. I think that might be her 4th. We'll wait for the paddle to confirm my suspicion. No, just her 3rd. Not horrendous foul trouble yet with 7 minutes and 43 seconds to play, but I think even if she was on 4, you have to keep her out there at this stage. Moss Vale going to have any chance bringing this back. Corliss. As somehow that doesn't bounce on the line. Yep. Boonstra. Nice little step through. That's a nice move, Amelia Boonstra. There's Palmer-Quigg. Grace Burke gives it straight back. That's tipped off 2 sets of hands. But Rossi's there to secure possession. And the floater won't drop. And he's always in a losing battle against the tall timber of the Crusaders. And
great pass.
Did everything but drop. There's Boonstra, Morgan, and Knight combined there. Right. Knight to inbound, fresh 14. To Hairmaker, it's tipped away, but back to Boonstra. She can't bank it home. Burke the rebound. Right. Morgan and Hairmaker giving her trouble, and that probably wasn't where Burke should have gone there. Just allow the Crusaders to use the sidelines, an extra defender. Moss Vale ball. Ruff. Nice work, Eliza Ruff.
Good use of her body there, a little bump and created space. Able to knock down that little turnaround jump shot.
As Crusaders with it once again, Hairmaker battling again down low on Stokes.
Tough shot.
Burke getting it from Palmer-Quigg into Stokes. Goes to work. Uses the glass. Boonshaw away with it. Gets it down in front of Zali Knight. And the pass just needed to be a little bit higher. So we're going to see.
Yeah, it's making some poor decisions in there 2-on-1. The Crusaders the last couple of times down the floor. Just, you know, you've either got to like go at the defender and make them make a decision, or, you know, you've got to throw the ball early. In that case, it's just too late.
As Hairmaker again, she is cooking as this game progresses.
Yeah, she's really stepped it up in the second half. She's really been a great presence down low for the Crusaders and done a pretty good job at the defensive end as well. Stokes going back out of that time, and she draws the foul.
Well, these free throws that were so good to them earlier in the games, they were bringing back that margin. Just deserting them in the latter stages, the Magic.
Yeah, you're 100% right, Lockie. They've missed a lot of free throws in the second half, which just could have kept that scoreboard ticking over.
Knight puts it on the floor. Rossi does a good job, but Knight rode the bump really well and got to the other side of the basket and laid it home.
Yeah, nice finish from Zali Knight. No help defense from...
As Bentley takes a bump, takes a spill, and foot on the floor. Oh, she's got the GYG socks on. Lily Bentley fully committing to the location of this game. Guzman y Gomez Stadium here in Terrigal. As Knight to Morgan, and Boonshaw almost leaves it behind. Will fire away from deep. Can't bank this one. Hairmaker can't get the rebound, but Knight can. She uses the glass. As we tick over into the final 5 minutes, and the Central Coast, they can start thinking about a grand final against either Hornsby or Hills. That game going on right now out on court 2, and it is the Hills Hornets leading that one 48-26 at halftime, or just after halftime, sorry. As that shot won't go, and Crusaders out and running again. Saunders, and she'll be fouled.
Yeah, the Crusaders really are putting this game beyond reach right now. Unfortunately, the Magic have just, their turnovers early just hurt them, and, you know, now as the Crusaders get on top, it'll be interesting to see, knowing that the Crusaders are going to advance to tomorrow's grand final, whether they rest some of their starters and rotate some of their bench players in here.
Well, it's interesting. As soon as you mentioned that, we got Zali Sims, Zali Knight on court. We got Hairmaker still out there. But see how much more time they spend out on court. As Stokes once again entrusted bringing the ball up court. Eventually they find Jessica Palmer-Quigg. 3 ball goes up from Bentley. Saunders grabs it. Now Hairmaker.
Yeah, Hairmaker's been great for the Crusaders in the second half. She's been a real presence at both ends, and should be a key factor for them tomorrow. That's for sure, against what's been a very dominant Hills Hornets team in this competition for a number of years now. So the only loss that they've had has been at the hands of the Central Coast Crusaders. So it'll be interesting if the Hornets do get through, how that matchup pans out for tomorrow.
That will be a very tasty matchup. Saunders unsuccessful with the second. They might still turn it into points here. Crusaders, if they keep getting offensive rebounds like that. Okay. 14 to work with for the Crusaders. Hairmaker to inbound. Out to Saunders. She'll put it on the floor. She'll get all the way in. Oh, big block. Ruff and Stokes combined. Prevent any lane through for Saunders.
I think, Lockie, even though like the Magic are probably going to go down in this contest, like, you've got to pay some credit to the Magic's program. You know, they're a small country association, being able to compete in the Waratah League is a great accomplishment in itself, and to provide an opportunity and pathways for girls in particular to come through their program and be able to play at this level is a credit to them and a credit to their program. And great to see that they've been in the finals like back-to-back years, grand final last year, semi-finals this year. So although it's not going to go their way today, like full credit to the Magic program, and hopefully one day we can see them potentially have one of the banners being raised in their stadium.
As a shot goes up from Zali Sims, so that was off the side of the backboard, no rim involved, and 100%. And Moss Vale also in a tricky position where for a lot of players, clubs like Bankstown or Penrith or Sutherland are close enough where, players might leave to play for those bigger associations. So as we see Eliza Ruff in there, so good to see them holding on to their players, and especially players of All-Stars last year. As we'll see Eliza Ruff at the charity stripe,
and even some of their players getting the opportunity to go and play down with Illawarra, that's a great opportunity for them as well. So just credit to the people at Moss Vale and their junior program that they're still able to churn out some of these players that can go on and help country basketball. I think their men's team are also playing later today, which is a great opportunity. So I'm sure the girls will hang around and cheer on the men this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, that Magic team, they put a lot of effort into that team. They've got an import in Jordan Rawls, who played for the Mount Gambier Pioneers at one stage. So they're really putting in down there in Moss Vale. It's great to see as Sims has a path block, but Saunders is right there. And then, Saunders and Rossi fighting for it. After Folataric couldn't quite lay it home. But Rossi, once again, tenacious on defense, and full credit to her, playing with 3 fouls since the middle of the second quarter. McQuigg. Ruff. She's got Rossi there. She can get the pass away, and the foul is going to be called. It'll go on Jolie Saunders.
This will be a great result for the Crusaders. Obviously, their Youth League Women's Division 1 team disappointing last week to go down to the Hills Hornets. Would have been great to have them playing here this weekend, but the Youth League Div 2 girls flying the flag, and I'm sure that there'll be a lot of local support for the girls here tomorrow in that grand final.
100%. It would be great to see all the Crusaders fans get out here. Pack GYG Stadium. 62-40 is your score. Just ticking over to 3 minutes to play.
Oh, nice back cut.
Great work. Corliss, and lays it home. Cut and the finish. McQuigg. It's into the paint. Little right hand. Way up. There we go. It's now Folataric. She's got Saunders with her. And Ruff almost gets the clean block, but on this occasion, unfortunately. Palmer Quick, she's been out there directing traffic, but I think she would have hoped to have put the ball in the basket at this stage. Does average almost 7 points per game. She's been facilitator most of the day, but I'm sure she would have liked to help the scoring tick along herself.
Yeah, I think the Magic would have needed a little bit more contribution from Palmer Quick on the scoreboard, but as you say, she has done a lot of, had the ball in her hands a lot and directed a lot of traffic, so.
There's going to be a foul in there on Corliss, and both teams in the bonus, so you're going to the charity stripe.
And interesting with the officials in these finals matchups, Lockie. So 3-man officiating. We don't see that throughout the regular season, but bring it in for the finals. And I think the officials here haven't really noticed them, to be honest. They've done a pretty good job with this game, I think.
Yeah, I don't think there's been anything too controversial. No, it's been called pretty consistently. It's been great to see, and I think these referees will be loving the fact they get to referee in a 3-person crew rather than the usual 2 they have.
yeah, it's a great opportunity for them to experience that. You know, like we talk about player development, coach development, also part of the referee development. So, you know, it's a great opportunity for them to experience it. And I think, whilst they don't get to do a lot of it, I think they've done a really good job here this morning.
Especially as they have NBL 1 aspirations. They'll be in 3-person crews there. As another trip to the charity stripe for the Moss Vale Magic. This time Eliza Ruff, 2 at the line.
And of course, you know, there are over 80 associations statewide, Basketball New South Wales. So no matter where you're tuning in from, there's an association near you. And if there's not, maybe it's time you become the person to start one. So visit bnsw.com.au to join a squad. And I don't say that flippantly because Emily Matthews, former Bathurst Gold Miner, Penrith Panther, Central Coast Rebel, Gosford City Rebel back in the day, she moved to Coonabarabran and restarted basketball in Coonabarabran when she moved there. So I'm not just saying that as a joke. If there's no basketball in your region, you've got some courts, there's no reason you can't start a local association or restart a local association.
Yeah, no, fantastic. Just see someone like Emily doing that.
Rossi can't put it home over the taller Corliss, but Eliza Ruff battling well. Played a valiant hand in a beaten side today, and I guess you could probably say that about a lot of these Moss Vale players. No backward step from the Magic.
There she is again. She's done she's definitely competed hard, that's for sure.
Rossi trying to get it in
deep
there.
Triple.
As Moran can't get it to drop. As that's fired out. Sienna Bird. Well, you talked about resting players. There was Sienna Bird on court with a minute and a bit to play. So we got jersey number 7, Emily Carlaw, freshly into the game for her first minutes. Actually, wasn't even on the list. I imagine she's replacing because no Iessa Cecilio, Matilda Spearant or Sophia Thompson, who are listed in the program today. None of them on the team sheets. Emily Carlaw getting the late call up. And good to see her get a bit of finals experience. I say the youngster, but that's a word that describes every single player on both teams. And that's why they call it Youth League, I guess, as Saunders gets past Carlaw. And then Carlaw, she was denying the pass well, but Saunders ended up putting it on the floor. So heading to the final minute here. Central Coast up 70-45. They're looking forward to a nice early start tomorrow in the grand final, which looks as though it'll be against Hills, but stranger things have happened. It could yet be Hornsby.
Yeah, no, strange things have happened previously, but a 20-point lead at halftime. You'd be disappointed if you let that slip.
3 ball goes up. Zali Sims rolls out of bounds, so Moss Vale can just about hold for the last shot of the game here. Mere fractions of a second between shot and game clock. Bradley, now Ruff, Moran, Carlaw there in the corner, and that's out.
Unfortunately, that possession there almost typifies Moss Vale's morning.
Unfortunately so. So Crusaders can run out the final 10 seconds. Just had to get it across half court and drill it out. And they might try to get a shot for someone who hasn't had a lot of opportunities. Saunders, shot goes up.
Smith couldn't get it to go, unfortunately.
Zoe Smith unable to get it to drop, but that is mere details as the Central Coast Crusaders will celebrate a 70-45 win, earn their spot in tomorrow morning's grand final. It was a outstanding second half performance after I won't say the wheels fell off in the second quarter, but they definitely had some things to improve in that second quarter. 3 players finishing in double figures for the Central Coast Crusaders. Imogen Politarik leading the way with 12 points. Amelia Boonstra with 11. Alyssa Hairmaker with 10. For Moss Vale, it was Eliza Ruff leading the way with 15 points. Grace Burke with 8. Sienna Rossi and Ellie Stokes with 6 points apiece. Stokes, all 6 of her points coming at the free throw line. Well, Chris, it has been lovely to call this game with you. An absolute pleasure. Fair to say Central Coast just too good on the day, which I think given previous form we probably expected.
Yeah, no, thanks, Lockie. Really enjoyed calling the game with you this morning. The Crusaders obviously finished second after the end of the regular season. They've deserved their spot in the grand final. Credit to the Magic. They tried hard.